Hello everyone, and happy upcoming new year! If this video isn't out until 2023, you have permission to hit me with a baseball bat on sight. Metaphorically, of course. Welcome one and all to yet another edition of your favorite indeterminate existence, Godzi, that's me, talking about shows that haven't aired yet. For once, that's actually the case. Time to copy and paste the rules from last season's script. I read the entries and watched the PVs for all of the winter 2023 anime listed on any chart and put them into 4 categories. Watching, maybe watching, not watching, and will eventually watch. As well, I have what's called a silence token, which lets me choose one show per season to avoid talking about, and said reason gets explained at the end of the video. So yeah, let's begin. Vinland Saga Season 2. I don't know what a God of War is, but I can't believe they copied the narrative excellence that is Vinland Saga. I kid, kinda. Vinland Saga is really good, I'm just a bit conflicted on where the hell the story's gonna go from here. Of course, I'm hopeful that this season will still be just as strong as the first, if not stronger, but it really depends on what they pull out of their ass here. If there was some setup at the end of Season 1, then just know I completely forgot about it. Let me be the unfortunate dumbass I was meant to be. The Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2. How the hell is a plain Jane isekai anime the second most popular of this season? Oh, right, it's the weird pseudo-parody one where the main character can, like, throw buildings and shit. For anyone who isn't aware, I usually structure these videos by ordering the shows by popularity on any chart at the time I first check it out, while occasionally reordering some stuff for better cohesion and occasional transitory jokes. The fact that it took me a moment to remember what show this was really says a lot about anime in today's age. Not like it ever was a legitimately subversive medium with new ideas. Sometimes you'll have a marvel here and there, and I don't mean that in the positive way. I mean the Eternals 2020 6.4 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes kind of marvel. Tokyo Revengers Season 2. Hey, look, it's the Nazi middle schoolers anime again. Again, I don't care if it's a manji, you sweaty, unironically calling yourself an otaku geeks. Go back to jacking off to a map of level 3 from the original Zelda, and make sure to clean up the blood that comes out. Please take a shower while you're at it. You see how passionate the Old Spice guy is? Make him proud. Where was I? Oh yeah, Nazi middle schoolers. This show bangs, unlike the guys still calling every reference to a swastika a manji. We all know you Phil Spencer standing nerds wouldn't join a gang even if it was called Toswas instead of Tomon. Hey, quick little aside, this is editing, Godzi, and I just realized I fucked up the joke. It's not Phil Spencer, it's Richard Spencer. That's who I meant, but I think it's funny to assume that they idolize Phil Spencer from fucking Xbox. I just wanted to clear that up because I did not mean Phil Spencer. I meant Richard Spencer, the Nazi guy who got punched on camera back in like 2016. That's who I meant. Back to the video. Though it'd definitely be less of a Tokyo swastika gang and more of a Montgomery Kekistan gang. Monkex for short, because they definitely talk in Twitch chat speak too. Sorry for getting political about swastikas being bad guys. It'll happen again. Bungo Stray Dogs Season 4. Oh boy, how many author jokes can I make this time? Well, we all know I don't read enough, but then again, neither do most people who watch anime. Well, I may not know much about the source material, but it'd be pretty sick if the main antagonist is just a one-for-one version of J.K. Rowling. Not even someone based on her, just a straight-up billionaire British ginger. See how she likes living under the stairs. I'm so sorry for being mean-spirited. I just wanted to be a jerk to people who don't know I exist this time around. Makes it a unique entry in this occasionally samey series. Though I can never be as much of a jerk as billionaire transphobes or basement-dwelling Nazi 4chaners, I'd like to consider myself a nice person who only bullies bad people and a few of my friends for good measure. That's called centrism, according to my social studies teacher from 11th grade, fucking 5 years ago. God, am I really almost 22? This video isn't even about anime anymore, let's just move on. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro, second attack. So, how do you guys feel about winter? I don't really like it that much, it's really cold. Okay, fine, I'll talk about the anime. Well, I haven't seen Season 1. Though I heard it's better than I expected the people whose opinions I tend to respect most to proclaim. You could have fooled me that this show is mostly for shy dudes who want to get pegged by tomboys. Granted, that's the majority of the dudes I follow on YouTube anyway. And dudes I don't follow. God, guys are horny. Oh, let's just move on. I'm getting off topic again. Beaufry. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense season 2. Okay, I know I've, never brought this show up ever, but holy shit, this show is fantastic. Yeah, it's a game isekai type show, but hey, the protagonist is a girl, which automatically makes it less dumb and edgy. This shit is so goofy, the title really is all you need to hear. This bitch is invulnerable. The writers really just wanted to make the most overpowered protagonist in existence, and damn, they did it. Could she beat Naruto? Easily. Could she beat Goku? Without breaking a sweat. Could she beat Saitama? Don't make me laugh. Could she beat Yuna from Kuma 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 Bear? Oh, now that's a battle for the ages. Someone make that shit happen. Nier Automata version 1.1a. I'm a simple person. When I see a video game adaptation of a game I've never touched, I ignore it entirely. That's how it be. Inspector Season 2. Sure, Inspector wasn't the best show of all time, or even close to being a top 10 contender in its own year, and it had some weird creative decisions like making the main antagonist of the season a faceless idol who boobed breastily every time she was on screen and hit people with a massive steel beam, but it's a decent popcorn show. I had fun with it and I'd recommend it, just don't expect a masterpiece cause you aren't getting that. Tomo-chan is a girl. This just looks cute. Yeah, earlier I was talking about dudes wanting to get pegged by tomboys, but try a tomboy who wants to get thrown at a wall by her best friend. Okay, it's not quite that provocative, but this show just looks really charming and I think I'd like it. Though I'm not sure why the key art for the show makes it look like a shonen battle anime. Spy Classroom. I don't see any spy stuff implied outside of the synopsis, let alone a classroom, but I'm just giving the show the benefit of the doubt. It looks like a less conceptually interesting version of Assault Lily, while simultaneously being a moderately PG-13 rated version of Strike Witches, so-called free thinkers when they see a group of conventionally pretty girls in a room being faced with a somewhat serious conflict. I would have given it a maybe, but I see some potential, I think. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Season 4, Part 2. This split core shit is just embarrassing. So many shows do this. We're legit getting an Attack on Titan the final season Part 3 later this year. Just take the L. This ain't a Part 2, it's a new season. Oh, and I almost forgot. Lol Lamau Danmachi, how are you about 50 episodes in and haven't answered your title's question? It's a yes or no, just commit. The Angel Next Door spoils me rotten. Okay, this show does look kinda cute, but I have a massive problem right out of the gate. I've mentioned this with other shows, some of which I've gone on record to actually like despite this idea, but the concept of a messy failure of a guy getting a cute girl to fix his life for him has always been something that rubs me the wrong way. The second in that PV that the girl opened the guy's apartment door to be met with a messy hallway full of trash, the show went down several notches in my head. It's still got potential though, just not as much. Kubo won't let me be invisible. Dude, I fucking hate this art style. This is the hardest maybe I've given to a show ever because I hate the art style, I hate the guy's design, I hate the archetype that the girl seems to be taking after, I hate everything the show seems confident enough to show off. It's like if Komi Can't Communicate was about the most boring high scores in existence doing absolutely nothing interesting. Plus, the premise is ridiculous. The guy doesn't want to be invisible. But then the synopsis makes it sound like he doesn't like that the Kubo girl won't let him fade into the background. No, she's the most basic looking bitch in existence. I'm surprised she's not invisible as well. Plus, after playing Neo, The World Ends With You, I can't take the name Kubo seriously. So, with all this shit I hate, why is it a maybe? Because there's gonna be other characters, and maybe they'll bring the show up a few notches. I see them in the key art. They are not mentioned in the PV or synopsis once. Ridiculous. Ugh. The Fruit of Evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made, Season 2. Yeah, hey, and before I knew it, I've never fucking heard of this shit. I don't have a joke for you. Ayakashi Triangle. Alright guys, now we're at the point in the list where there's, I shit you not, 4 shows in a row of guys turning into something else, mostly girls. There's absolutely something they want to tell the class, and I'm not sure some of them should be allowed to say it. This one in particular should save it, at least for now. To get real for a moment though, I'm not surprised how many shows like this exist, though it is odd how many are coming out at once. Either way, it makes sense, because the idea of men being allowed to talk about things they dislike about their body is usually only socially acceptable if they're like, I need to be more manly, I need women to like me, which is absolutely the reason why shows like this exist. You wrote a story about a guy turning into a girl? Do you want to talk? I'm not trying to imply that this means the writers are trans, because that's not necessarily true. Sometimes it's just a social mismatch, not being allowed to be feminine or whatnot. I say this assuming that every protagonist ever is a projection of the author, which is not true. So all I'm trying to say is that it's an interesting topic I'd like to delve into more in the future. Rant over. Meanwhile, I don't think this show is much of a projection of dysphoria and is more so an excuse for girls to be exceptionally gay, but without actually letting them. God, even when men let girls like each other, one of the girls is still a guy. I say that, but it seems like more of a curse type dealio, so... Oh my god, her hair accessory is a swastika, what the fuck? This show looks okay. My life as Inukai-san's dog. Okay, so I did say all that about gender roles and expression, and now we've got a guy turning into a dog. I did say it was mostly girls. Here's the exception. I don't think I can really say much about this show. It's a projection of the fantasy of girls being naked around you without uppercutting you into the stratosphere or whatever guys think girls are capable of. I usually like watching the shitty ecchi harem, but this borders on extremely uncomfortable. White women stop fucking dogs challenge impossible. I know they're Japanese in the show, shut up. Onimai, I'm now your sister. Okay, so out of the 4 shows that fall into this category, I really think this one in particular is not so subtly a bit of projection, if not an allegory for gender dysphoria and being trans outright. I say this as nicely as I can. This show looks like if the Egg IRL subreddit made an anime. It really isn't hidden. There's no indication in either the synopsis or the PV that the main character has any intention to be turned back into a guy. The synopsis only says that he is determined to go back to his shut-in, game-playing life, which you could potentially argue means he wants to turn back into a guy, but the phrase, go back, would be doing some heavy legwork there. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to get out of this, but I'm gonna check it out at least, and see in more detail what the actual theme of the show is. I can only predict things right now, and my best guess is that the main character really doesn't have an issue with it, given the hijinks in the PV. It seems generally wholesome, I guess. I don't fucking know. I can only hope it's not completely insensitive, because I know the medium of anime can and has had good trans and GNC characters and stories in the past. I'm hopeful enough. And hello once more, it's editing Godzi. Ever since I wrote and recorded the script, I have seen people talking about the opening for this anime that's been already released for some fucking reason, and God fucking help me. Oh shit, I should have fucking known. I should have fucking known. Don't fucking criticize me for being hopeful. I should have fucking known. I'm not even sure I want to talk about it. But I'm gonna fucking say, I should have fucking known it wasn't a fucking projection of dysphoria. It's fetish shit. It's fucking fetish shit. I swear to fuck. It's fucking fetish shit. If you don't believe me, find the fucking OP for this anime and just try to get through it. It is, oh my fucking god. This is a maybe now. This is a fucking maybe, only because maybe the OP is just playing into some really weird fucking marketing shit. Because the characters look like they're in middle school. I don't know if it's the art style. It's still weird if they're in high school. It doesn't matter. But, oh my fucking god. Like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? We can't have anything, can we? We can't. Ugh. Whatever. I really hope it's just that the OP had some fucking racy people working on it. and that the show is still genuinely okay, because the PV, which is what's been playing in the background, has only one moment that's at all kind of weird, but I assumed it was a fucking joke, because like, oh, she's wearing boxers, because that's what guys wear, ha ha ha. And then there's the fucking joke at the end of the PV where she runs to the bathroom and tries to use the urinal, but oh, you can't, you don't got a dick. I swear to fuck, I swear to fuck, I swear to fuck, we can't have anything nice, can we? Please let the OP just be shit. Like, it's fine if the OP is shit, I can skip that. I can skip that, I can overlook it, kind of. I hope the show isn't fucking weird. I hope the show isn't fucking weird. And I don't think it really will be, because the PV doesn't really entail it, but maybe they were literally just trying to butter people up. I don't fucking know. I'm scared now, but whatever. Bye. Back to the fucking video. Again. Reborn to master the blade, from hero king to extraordinary squire. And the last of the four is comparatively tame. An old guy is reincarnated as a girl in the next life and becomes a knight. I don't know what to get out of that in particular. It seems like a general careful what you wish for type deal, but she doesn't exactly seem upset by the idea. It looks okay enough. I'm not even sure the gender stuff is more than a gimmick, if I'm honest. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. Yeah, anime. I swear I've previewed a show functionally identical to this one before. It's just a bag of tropes, we can move on. Endo and Kobayashi Live, the latest on tsundere villainous Lies-a-Lot. It's a charming concept, admittedly. I'm not sold on the idea that the gamers, for lack of a better term, know that the dude in the game can hear them, because then it's just a very meta version of interactivity. I guess it could be entertaining enough, I'll wait a bit. Farming life in another world. We literally got a comparatively more interesting show than this just last season that was basically the same concept, except the potatoes could be used as napalm bombs instead of just ingredients for stew. I'd rather just buy Stardew Valley. By the Grace of the Gods Season 2. Of all the fantasy slime isekais that exist under the sun, this sure is one of them. Hell, scratch that, of all the anime that exists under the sun, this sure is one of them. God, I'm bored just looking at it. Trigun Stampede. I don't want to spoil myself too much on what Trigun has to offer, and this art style looks nowhere near as charming as the one from the original show, so I'll skip on it and check out the original sometime. The Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. This just looks really cute. I like the subversion of the trope that the guy is the stoic and chill one while the girl is the emotional one, and combining that subversion by adding a common element between the two. Being ice, both literally and metaphorically. It's also neat. It seems nice. Yeah! The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. I don't want to pull another asteroid in love on myself, but they are absolutely gay. Every bit of setup seems to point toward that, though it's not completely explicit. I'm gonna watch and see if it's another torture fest as the two main girls never end up throwing each other at the wall. We'll see. Kaina of the Great Snow Sea. This is just kinda ugly and I'm bored. Next. Buddy Daddies. This is just kinda funny looking and I'm interested. Next. Ningen Fushin. Adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. This looks painfully plain. Like a plane of plain planes with plain planes painfully flying over them plainly. Yeah, why have one disenchanted edgy protagonist when you can have 4 I'm plainly uninterested? High card. Okay, in all honesty, I'm not super enthralled in this idea. It's neat, but I'm more so interested because of the weird similarities that this show has to a story idea that I had, where a deck of cards is all you need to settle matters, and there's 2 Joker cards that exist in the world that give people the power of a demigod, naturally entailing that both cards in the same hand gives you the power of a god. I made this idea in 11th grade, and it's about as fleshed out as a frog's skeleton, but the card aesthetic is intriguing to me, and maybe I can make something of it in the future, who knows. The Iceblade Sorcerer shall rule the world. I'm really just throwing this one a bone. I see shreds of potential here, but I wouldn't go all in on thinking it'd be all that. The title is a red flag as it is, and I barely know the story. It's just a more interesting gimmick than most fantasy anime. Handyman Saito in Another World. This feels like an earnest title. You know those weird movies from the 80s and 90s where this guy named Ernest fumbles around in some gimmick? I watched a few of those as a kid, and they were funny enough for my puny child brain to enjoy. I find it funny that the last of the Ernest movies to come out was Ernest in the Army, which implies he dies at war and the franchise is over. Oh, and the show looks okay, I guess. Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. Meh. The idea of someone being able to transport between two worlds instead of just being reincarnated in a different one is cool and all, and I like the literal implication of the protagonist being weak because she looks like a child, but I'm not entirely sold on the premise of saving 1 billion yen per world. Money is exponential. He who has will be given more, way more than he needs, until he can buy entire social media platforms. It'd just be easier to stick to one world and try to save 2 billion yen. Or maybe like less than that? Do you need the equivalent of $15 million to retire? That's legit like 15 times the amount financial guru YouTubers who shill crypto tell you your Roth IRA will gain by your 60s if you live with your parents until you're 36 and save every penny you make at a slightly above minimum wage job. Though, if you have a plan to use that other world to retire at 18, I guess I don't blame you. Malevolent Spirits Monogatari. Hey look, it's the racism is bad theme again with a slightly intriguing coat of paint. Maybe. I say assuming you guys can't read. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Meh. You can tell I'm really getting into this season. It looks funny, I guess. I don't really need to pad this video more. If I can't write a paragraph, I won't make myself. Anyways, chillin' in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. Hey, teenagers! Feel like a failure at the ripe old age of 14 3/4? Well, have I got the allegory for you. This guy got fired from an evil militia, and apparently that's a bad thing even though he's living for free in a fantasy world with overwhelming powers and is close friends with a girl with weirdly large breasts. That's relatable, right? What even is the fantasy genre anymore? The Vampire Dies in No Time Season 2. I heard the show is good, so I'll watch it eventually, duh. Tsurune Season 2. I heard the show is good, so I'll watch it eventually, duh. Oh, wait, I read the entry for the last show twice. Oh well, it still gets the point across. The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, Northern War. God. How many times do video games I've never played have to get anime adaptations before I actually play all the games I said I'd play? Huh? I don't know. 35? We've got to be getting there, probably. Revenger. Tokyo Revengers if they drop the swastika symbols. Well, maybe that's not the best comparison since the show looks only alright. Yeah, I got nothing else. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. Yeah, this looks hopelessly boring. The Fire Hunter. Yeah, this looks hopelessly boring. Giant Beast of Ours. Yeah, this looks... Oh, wait. Can you guess? I'm sure you can. Good job! I read your mind. You're right. It does look hopelessly boring. The Tale of Outcasts. Technoroid Overmind. Hey look, it's Guy Idols again. I don't even like using my silence token on these anymore. I just don't care. Epone again. This art style is fucking ugly and combined with one of the most boring subject matters for a cute girls doing cute things show possible. Yeah, this is an L. D4DJ All Mix. Oh hey, girl idols for once. I say, ignoring that like 3 seasons of Love Live have aired this past year or some crazy shit. Pokemon, aim to be a Pokemon master. I'm gonna cry. I promise you that. When I get to this, in like 2026. There's a lot of episodes, y'all. Sorceress, Stabber, Orphan, Chaos, and Urban Rama. Did they really name a city Urban Rama? Oh, wow. Hey, this is my town for my story. It's called Townville. Ugh. Unite Up. Hey look, it's the title for my first episode of my wonderful 101 LP from a few years back. And look, they even color-coded the guys so the joke would hit harder. Congrats on Wonderpink's transition, by the way. Looking great, man. Card Fight Vanguard, Will Cross Dress Season 2. Who even plays card games? Aside from, like, a lot of people. Aggressive Retsuko Season 5. This is the last show, and yeah, I'm gonna include ONAs from now on, at least the ones that seem important. Yeah, I know this show is good, just give me until like October. Well, hey, that's all! Probably not gonna watch any of these for a couple months while I watch the shows from 2022 to prepare my top 10 anime of 2022 list. But hey, I'll get there. Eventually. This show's silence token was used on A Tale of Outcast because I didn't want to use the same joke 4 times in a row, yeah. So, recap time as usual. I will be watching Vinland Saga Season 2, Tokyo Revengers Season 2, Bungo Stray Dogs Season 4, Bofuri I Don't Want to Get Hurt So I'll Max Out My Defense Season 2, Inspector Season 2, Tomo-chan is a Girl, Spy Classroom, Onimai I'm Now Your Sister, The Ice Guy and His Cool Female Colleague, The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, Buddy Daddies, and High Card. I might be watching The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, Ayakashi Triangle, Reborn to Master the Blade from Hero King to Extraordinary Squire, Endo and Kobayashi Live, the latest on Tsundere Villainous Lizelot, The Iceblade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World, Handyman Saito in Another World, Ernest in the Wait, how'd that get in here? Anyways, Saving 80,000 Gold in Another World for My Retirement, Malevolent Spirits Monogatari, Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, and Revenger. Lastly, I will eventually watch Don't Toy With Me Miss Nagatoro's Second Attack, Trigun Stampede, The Vampire Dies in No Time Season 2, Sarune Season 2, Pokemon Aim to Be a Pokemon Master, and Aggressive Retsuko Season 5. Well, that's not a bad looking season. Let's just hope there's only one show about a guy turning into a dog this year. Huh. Maybe shouldn't have said that, actually. Now Apollo is gonna make there be one every season in 2024. Welp, cue outro. Wait, why didn't it work?